today's video, we will be going over the topic of budget helmet and night vision setups. Since 2500 BC, helmets have been used to protect their wearers in the heat of battle. As time moved on, so did designs. Those saw iterative improvements in shape, size, and level of protection until they evolved into the familiar shapes and designs that we know today. Before we begin, if you want more content like this, don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe for more. It's free and you can always undo it later. A couple notes before we begin. This particular helmet that I'm using is a Bush ballistic high-cut helmet. And there will forever be a debate on bump versus ballistic helmets, especially when it comes to buying your first one. I highly recommend taking a look at what you either plan to do or what you are currently doing for a living, and then go from there. Bump helmets sacrifice a lot of that protection, but they make helmets considerably lighter and more breathable than their heavier ballistic cousins. Additionally, bump helmets are cheaper, usually running in the $200 to $300 price range. However, there are certain non-US companies that make supposedly ballistic helmets in that same price range. And some of you might ask, well, why don't I get like a Chinese helmet that costs $300, which is the same price for about a good bump helmet that offers that ballistic protection? Well, you're kind of misunderstanding the assignment, as those are made with non-US fibers, non-organic materials, and a lot of mystery meat hardware. So if you shell out and get a $300 Team Wendy bump helmet or OpsCore bump, you're paying for that quality-made, reliable mounting hardware that is not going to fail on you when you need it the most. To start off, the Bush is the European equivalent to the beloved OpsCore Fast and Maritime designs. It comes with very similar mounting hardware, such as the rails and the shroud, and comes with a chin strap with a retention system similar to that of Team Wendy's. A video on this particular helmet was done prior to the filming of the video you are watching now. So if you're interested in the statistics offered by this helmet and a little bit of insight on it, I'd highly recommend visiting the channel and checking it out. Next up, we have hearing protection and communications. As of right now, I'm currently running Pelter Contact 5s with a single down lead should the need arise to use a radio in a team environment. And there are many different brands of hearing protection out there, and among those, Pelters are probably the best that you can buy. I have them attached to the arc rails via these mounts from 3M on both sides. And what these do is they allow me to pop the muffs in for when I'm shooting, and I need that active hearing protection. But if I'm using communications, I can pop them out to cool off my ears. And if I need to stow them in a bag or something, I can just rotate them back like so. They're very versatile, and I would definitely recommend into looking at getting a pair. They're also the cheapest helmet mounts that you can get. Don't settle for airsoft ones. On the back of the helmet, I have the NodPod V2. This is an interesting little thing. It's a 3D printed hybrid of a battery pack and counterweight. It doesn't connect to nods, unfortunately, but it does hold the batteries that power the current device that you saw earlier. And the NodPod can hold 4 CR123s, 2 AA's, and 2 AAA's, and it adds a tolerable amount of weight to counteract the current night vision I have. For my Army guys especially, don't let your crusty leaders bully you into thinking that tightening your chin strap saves everything. It doesn't. I definitely recommend looking into getting a dedicated counterweight pouch for those nods that you guys use. On the front of the helmet, I have a simple Neurotos Rhino 2 and a J-arm to go with it. Combined, these are a great budget option of mounting night vision to your helmet. However, these only work with non-dovetail mounts. Now, dovetail mounts are a different ballpark. They look something like this piece of equipment that is pictured on screen currently. And for those, you would need something like maybe a Wilcox G24 to mount them. Or if you don't want to shell out the money for one, you can also get a dovetail adapter for the Rhino 2. Last and probably least, we move on to the night vision. Now this is a Nightstar Gen 1 monocular. This is some of the cheapest night vision money can buy. And as far as monoculars go, this is definitely no PVS 14. However, it offers a decent field of view so long as there is a certain amount of ambient light for the tube to amplify. In lower light conditions, you'll have to use the external IR illuminator, which makes things more tolerable. However, there is a caveat to using it. If you're simply hiking at night, there's no problem with using the IR illuminator every now and again, or if things get darker. However, if you are going toe-to-toe with enemy combatants with better night vision, you will definitely stick out like a sore thumb. So that is something to keep in mind. A standard for night vision would most likely be Gen 2 Plus or Gen 3, though that is a topic for a later video. As far as closing remarks go, this video was created to give the audience a glimpse into what the most basic of helmet setups should look like. And there will most definitely be a sequel on advanced helmet setups in the future, so please stay tuned for that. One final bit of advice I can give you guys before I go is to never add a bunch of equipment to your helmet right off the bat. Instead, take into consideration what you're doing first and then build your helmet accordingly. I've seen too many guys build out their helmets with all this unnecessary stuff and then walk away complaining of neck pain later. So please be careful as to what you put on your head. Every ounce that you put on that neck of yours becomes a liability. Your neck is not invincible, so please keep that in mind. As far as training goes, get out there and train in your helmet. It really helps, and a well set up helmet will eliminate any initial pains that you have after a very short time. Whether it's something as big as LARPing or something as mundane as taking the dogs out on their evening walk, every bit of time you spend wearing that helmet helps your body get acclimated to it, and it will pay off in the long run. And that's all I got for you guys. If you liked this video, leave a like. If you didn't, a dislike. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.